I've, you know, over the years of making art, I've realized that I kind of have to I kind of have to keep some of the things that I make. I can't just destroy everything, which is my natural impulse. Um, so one thing that I've been trying to be more conscious of is when something is working, to make sure to try to preserve what works. So one way to do that in art is to get out the a fixative, the Workable Fixative spray. So spray that on, you know, try to keep what's there and continue to work into it. So I was thinking about that concept in the yoga, where, you know, I think it is the practice. Each pose is an exploration. There's a broader, broader narrative of exploration in our practices. And, you know, I think, especially in the last 6 months when we've all, you know, changed our relationship to many things, and likely you've needed to adapt your practice in some way. And there's been, you know, a trial and error somewhat of like finding new footing, seeing what works and what doesn't work. And so it's really today with this in mind of like exploring new territory, but recognizing what works, trying to preserve that as we continue to explore. And then, you know, sometimes you will just have the impulse to destroy it all, start over, as I do. If you know me, that might be funny. I like to, you know, I like to tear things up and start over. Okay, so welcome, live viewer. Glad somebody was able to make it out this evening. We're going to begin class in a seated position. This is going to be a class with focus on the spine in the in terms of range of motion. You know, as you might imagine, through the movements of cat and cow, but also we'll be doing a number of twists today. So hopefully that's something that sounds appealing. Set up your mat. If you have props, we'll use blocks, and I think there'll be an opportunity to use blankets, but definitely blocks, and some wall space. So set yourself up for success here by bringing yourself to a comfortable, safe space. Then finding an appropriate seat for our introduction into this time and space. Once you have found your seated position, whether it be on a blanket, a bolster, a block, chair, the mat, close your eyes and invite yourself here. Let's first turn our attention inward. Become aware of the experience, this proprioception, the experience of our inner bodies. So notice where and what you might be feeling in this moment, in this posture. Let different parts of your body call for attention, whether that attention is being called for out of soreness or pain or just simply discomfort. Let your mind traverse your body, and perhaps you make subtle movements to address anything you might be noticing. And then let's become aware of how our body is relating to the world around us. So notice those spaces where your body is touching the surfaces beneath you. feel the weight of your body pushing downward as the floor, the earth, pushes back up into your body, an exchange of energy there. Draw up from the earth, actively lengthen your spine. Shrug your shoulders up towards your ears to lengthen the sides of the body actively. Keep the armpits lifted and then loop your shoulder blades together behind your heart, creating a contraction of your upper back muscles as your heart broadens and lifts. As the shoulder blades draw in, now allow the weight of the forearms to melt towards the floor, bringing the shoulder blades down the back side of your chest. Draw your chin down parallel with the floor and ease the sides of your neck back, lengthening along the back of your head, lifting through the crown. Now, feel the air of the room around you, or you may even be practicing outside today. Notice the temperature of your environment and how it interacts, how it acts upon and is affected by your own body temperature. So are there places where you feel air moving across the skin? Are there places that feel warmer or cooler? So throughout our yoga practice, we are experiencing the inner body, the experience of our body as we place it into these different shapes, as well as the environmental stimulus, the relationship of our bodies to the earth, the world around us, the air around us, the relationship of our bodies to gravity. Turn your attention to your breathing. And again, consider the breath is a mechanism that is constantly interacting between the internal and the external. You might start to notice the feel as you inhale of air moving in through the nostrils, gradually filling the lungs. And feel the experience of the lungs contracting and the air exiting your body, now changed back into the world around you. You may like to begin the practice of Ujjayi pranayama at this time. Do so by drawing in a gentle contraction at the back of your throat. It will give your breath an aspirant sound. You might also consider that sound is being created and experienced as vibration within your body, as well as a sound that projects from your body and can be heard. 3 more rounds of Ujjayi Pranayama. We'll do a 1-to-1 ratio today. I'll give you let's go with an 8-count inhalation and an 8-count exhalation. Empty the lungs and inhale for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Hold at the top. Exhale with control slowly. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Again, inhale 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Exhale with control. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Last one together. Inhale 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Exhale 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Empty the lungs and resume your breath. Bring the palms together in front of the heart center. Press your palms lightly together, widen out through the elbows and across your collarbones. We'll chant Om 3 times before beginning the moving practice. Exhale, empty the lungs, and inhale for Om. Bow your head to your heart, release your palms to your thighs, then slowly lift your head as you open your eyes. Okay, please come forward onto your knees. Knees together. You might tuck your toes under to open up the soles of the feet. If that becomes too intense, you can always point the toes back and sit on your heels or slide a blanket between your heels and hips. Place the hands on the thighs, and we're going to do a cat and cow-like motion, but start moving up from the pelvis to the shoulders, neck, and head. So focusing first on the pelvis. Inhale, rock the pelvis forward or tilt the pelvis forward, point the tailbone back, and then exhale, tilt the tailbone forward and spill the bowl of the pelvis back. Inhale, exhale. One more. Inhale, tilting the pelvis. Exhale back. With hands on the thighs, start to focus on the middle body. So the abdomen, lower ribs, and middle back. Inhale, jut the low ribs forward. Exhale, knit the ribs together. Pull the belly button in towards the spine. Draw the middle body towards the back wall. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, one more. Exhale, moving from the middle body. Now moving into the chest. Inhale, roll the shoulders back, broaden the collarbones, tilt the chin up, open the heart space. Exhale, round the shoulders forward, pull the heart back, open the space between the shoulder blades, chin to chest. Inhale, gaze might go up as the heart opens and lifts. Exhale, shoulders forward, heart back, chin towards the chest. One more time, focusing on the upper body. And exhale back. Now just start to move the entire spine, putting those 3 parts together. Inhale. And exhale. Move with the pace of your own breath. Notice any tension in the face. Consider that the tension of your face might be a reflection of how you're experiencing your practice. So by encouraging softness around the edges of the mouth and in the jaw, around the eyes, can you start to soften into the practice? Find acceptance for this experience. Okay, inhale back to neutral spine, and let's come up onto the knees. So hips are lifted. Tuck the toes under, and then take your arms out straight in front of you so that they're parallel to the floor. Grow tall along the crown, and then exhale, we're going to sink the hips back towards the heels, keeping the spine tall, and then inhale back. We'll do that 4 more times. Exhale. Inhale, if you'd like, point the toes, flatten the feet. Exhale, hips back. Inhale, press into the tops of the feet, come forward. Exhale. Inhale, last one. Exhale, hips sink back, spine stays tall. Inhale, forward. Okay, we're going to do another thing here. Bring the hands to the low back as though you're putting your hands in your back pockets. Press the flesh of the buttocks down, lift and open the chest. Again, tuck the toes under. Lengthen up along your left side. So reach up through the left arm. Inhale, grow tall. Keep your knees grounded. And then exhale, reach the right fingertips back towards the right heel. Create a nice long left side. Lengthen down through the tailbone, reach through the left fingertips. You might look up. Again, noticing tension in the face. So this is kind of a precursor to camel pose. Not going too deep, just going to one side, maybe getting a little bit of lateral extension. And then inhale back to center, and then bring the left fingertips to the left heel, right arm, or let's start the same way we did the last pose. Reach up through the right arm, and then go back with the left hand. Ground through the knees, lengthen through the tailbone, lift through the chest. Left shoulder blade can wrap onto the back of the heart space. Again, notice the face, soften the edges of the mouth. You can also have the hand cupping the back of the head if that feels more supportive. And then come back up with the chest. Take your legs out, take your left leg out. And for today, sickle the outside edge of the left foot to the floor. Stack the right hip over the right knee. Left hand can start on the hip, reach up through the right fingertips, grow tall along the right side, and then exhale, slide the left hand down the outside of the left leg. Reach the right fingertips towards the left wall. Lengthen down through the tailbone. Lengthen along the right side body. You might turn your gaze up beyond the right tricep muscles. Breathe. Notice where your body is meeting the floor. Rise up out of the support of the earth. Inhale, come back to center. Gate pose, second side, left knee below the hip. Right foot extends out. Sickle the outside edge of the foot towards the floor. Tone the muscles up the right leg. Lengthen the tailbone down. Lift into the front of the hip points. Left arm extends along the left ear. Reach up out of the left side. Grow tall. Exhale, slide the right hand down the outside of the right leg. Lengthening, opening the left side body. And then you might start to take the gaze up beyond the left tricep muscles towards the ceiling. Again, you might take a moment to notice the face. You might take a moment to notice the body's relationship to the earth in this shape. Then inhale, come back up through center, and we'll push our way back into a downward facing dog. Place your hands, your wrists Outer shoulder width distance apart. Tuck your toes under and shift the hips up and back. You might be compelled to walk your dog out at this point. Feel free to do so. Bending one knee, reach the opposite heel down towards the floor, lengthening along the back of that leg. Shifting the hips, maybe exaggeratingly from side to side to access the outer hips. And then bend your knees deeply. Look forward. And then spread your fingers, root through the knuckles of your fingers as you attempt to lift into the wrists. Push the hands down and forward as you lift the hips up and back. Feel the shoulder blades pull together behind the heart. And then release the head down, lengthen the heels down, draw the lower ribs in and back, coming to your deepest expression of downward facing dog for this practice. And then from here, we're going to take the left leg straight up and back into a three-legged dog. And then exhale, bring the chin to the chest, shift the shoulders over the wrists. Pull the thigh up towards the chest and hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, sweep the leg back and up. Exhale, bring the right knee to the outside of the left knee to the outside of the left elbow. Lift it up for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Sweep the left leg back and draw the left leg to the outside of the right elbow. Pull it in, pull it up, shoulders over wrist. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Sweep the left leg back. Look to the top of the mat and then lunge your left foot. That's your left foot. I keep saying right foot. Left foot between the hands. If you'd like to place blocks, and you have blocks at your disposal, place blocks on either side of the left foot, and either bring your hands on tinted fingers or flat on the blocks. Frame the front foot as you come into your lunge. Lengthen across the collarbones. Look forward. Reach back with the right leg. And as you exhale next, send the hips back, round the spine, chin to chest, forehead to or towards your left knee. Inhale, flow forward, hips lower, chest lifts. Exhale, round the spine, chin to chest, forehead towards the knee, left leg straight. And continue through these two motions with your breath, being an explorer of your own body. And then as you inhale next, please come forward. Hands to hips, elbows point back, draw back through the sides of the waistline to come up. Inhale, sweep your arms overhead, palms come to touch. Exhale, open the chest towards the left wall, arms down to the height of the shoulders. Inhale, come forward, chest forward. Exhale, open left. Inhale, forward. Exhale, open left. Inhale, forward. Exhale, open left and hold. Either choose to keep the arms as they are or spray the Workable Fixative and start to work into the pose. You can take the left hand to the outside of the right hip, sweep the right arm over the ear, sink deep into the lunge, curl the gaze up, lean the upper body back, soften for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Hands frame the front foot, and then step back, downward facing dog. Explore your dog. You might walk it out. Either choose to stay here or follow me through a set of 5 push-ups. Inhale, come forward for the first push-up. Exhale, lower down, possibly coming to your knees. Inhale, press up. Exhale, hip shift back, either child's pose or down dog. Inhale, forward. Exhale, lower. Inhale, press. Exhale, back 2. Inhale, forward. Exhale, lower. Inhale, press. Exhale, back 3. Inhale forward, exhale lower, inhale press, exhale back. 4, last one, first set. Inhale forward, exhale lower, inhale press, exhale back, right leg lifts straight up and back, three-legged dog. And inhale, shift the shoulders over the wrist, pull the knee towards the chest, lift into the thigh for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Right leg back. Draw the right leg to the outside of the right tricep muscles. Pull it in, pull it out. Shoulders over the wrist for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Sweep the right leg back, cross the body, right leg to left elbow, pull it in, pull it up. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Sweep the right leg back, and then lunge the right foot forward between the hands. Maybe give that ankle a hand. Place hands on either side of the front foot, on the floor, or on the blocks. Establish your lunge. Gaze and heart forward, tailbone and heel back. Strong legs, long legs. Find stability within your expansion. Exhale, hips back, round the spine, chin to chest, forehead towards or to the knee. Inhale forward. And explore the range of motion between these two shapes. Perhaps pausing in one shape or the other to explore. Inhale, shift the hips forward, lunge. Hands to hips, elbows to the ceiling, draw back through the sides of the waistline, come up. Sweep the arms overhead with an inhale. Exhale, open the chest towards the right, arms down to the height of the shoulders. Inhale forward. Exhale, open right. Inhale forward. Exhale, open right. Inhale forward. Exhale, open right. Last one, inhale forward. Exhale, open right. Choose to stay here or spray the fixative. Wrap the right hand to the outside of the left thigh. Sweep the left arm along the left ear. Deep into the lunge. Lean back. Look up. Soften the face. Explore your body inside and outside. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hands frame the front foot. Remove the blocks. Press back. Downward facing dog. Walk it out. And again, choose to stay with the dog or join me in another set of 5 push-ups. Inhale forward to plank. Exhale lower. Inhale press. Exhale back 1. Inhale forward. Exhale lower. Inhale press. Exhale back 2. Inhale forward. Exhale lower. Inhale press. Exhale back 3. Inhale forward. Exhale lower. Inhale press. Exhale back 4, last one, little different. Inhale forward, exhale lower, hover for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Everybody meet up on the floor, belly down. Chin on the mat, lengthen the legs back, one at a time, point back through the toes. Arms at your sides, and then bend the knees, flex the feet. Reach back to the outer ankles. With both hands, tone the inner knees and inner ankles towards one another, so they're about hip width distance apart. Grab one ankle. If only one is available, remember which one. Grab the second one on the second go round through this bow pose. Kick your ankles into your hands, lift your thighs up. Then breathe the pose, which might mean a little bit of rocking forward and back. Use the pressure of the ankles into the hands to draw the shoulder blades deeply onto the back of the chest, to expand the heart forward. Again, feel your body in relation to gravity, in relation to the earth, in relation to the air around you, the sounds around you. Slowly lower the legs. Right cheek to the floor, arms at your sides, big toes touch, heels widen apart, head heavy, neck soft, arms heavy, upper back broad. Arrive in this moment. Return to your breath. Each breath, more air in, more air out. Again, tune into this relationship, all of these systems interacting, the air, the earth. Chin back to the floor. Bend the knees, flex the feet. If you grabbed one ankle, reach for that other ankle. Otherwise, reach for both ankles again. Ankles and knees hug in, shoulders back. Prepare, and then kick. Lift the thighs, push the ankles into the hands. Let the arms be pulled back, and then tone the upper back muscles to squeeze the shoulders in. Lift the heart up, side to neck back, crown of the head lifts. Keep breathing. Sides of neck back, crown of the head lifts, look up. Turn up the volume. And then turn it all back down. Left cheek to the floor, arms at your sides, big toes touch, heels widen apart. Head heavy, neck soft, arms heavy, upper back broad. Return to this moment. Chin to the floor. Take your knees as wide as the mat. Push your hips back to the heels. Big toes touch. Tuck the tailbone towards the heels. Push, take the hands out in front of you. Push the floor down and forward. Round the spine, chin to chest. Keeping the spine tucking, the tailbone tucking towards the heels. Start to look forward and walk the upper body forward into an extended wide-legged child's pose. Find a comfortable place to place your face and your head, whether that means getting some padding to rest your forehead on or turning one cheek to the floor. Notice the experience of this shape. What and where are you noticing in this moment? If you've turned one cheek to the floor, turn your head the opposite direction. Consider this moment, and if this were a painting, if this pose were a painting, what are you keeping and where are you continuing to work? So you're kind of sketching it out by putting your body in the shape. And I'm thinking about this concept of the breath, painting the details. Okay, push your way up into a tabletop position. And now we're going to do our cat and cow poses. So this is a different part of the class than we normally encounter this movement. So inhale, belly and chest down, tailbone and gaze lift into your cow pose. And exhale as you round your spine. Chin to chest, tailbone towards the floor, belly button towards the ceiling. Push the floor away and continue to move with your inhale to cow, with your exhale to cat. Considering all of these different factors that are working into or influencing this moment. So again, there's this influence of the earth, how your body is working in relationship to the earth's gravity. There's also the air of the room, the temperature of the room, the sounds around you, reaching you at this moment. There's also what we've practiced so far today. Okay, come back to a neutral spine, and we're going to thread the left hand between the knees, reaching back for the right ankle. Land the back of the left shoulder, left side of the head on the floor as we come into this version of twisted child's pose. Knees push down if you need to intensify this. Hips can shift towards the left. If you're really looking to intensify this, you can attempt to bring the knees together and then reach for the outside of the right ankle or the right heel. And then push the hips up for this even more twisted child's pose. Right fingertips in that instance can stay on the floor, or you can attempt to extend the right arm along your mat, along the long side of your mat. So if you ate dinner right before you decided to practice, you might be regretting that at this moment. It's usually helpful to do practice without a lot of food in your belly. Okay, come back up, and we'll do the second side. So either threading the right hand between the knees, reaching back for the left ankle, or bringing the knees together and taking the right arm to the outside, the left leg reaching for the outside of the heel with the right hand. Then pushing the knees down, shifting the hips up and maybe a little bit to the right. Either left fingertips on the floor or attempt to extend the left arm along the long end of your sticky mat. And again, this is going to twist you up. It's going to contract you, compress you, and attempt to breathe deeply within this constricted shape. I often use the analogy of the breath working like a sponge. So the inhale breath is like filling the sponge with water. The exhale breath is like wringing out the sponge. Unwind, come back up, and we are going to do a little something against the wall. Oh, let's stand up. Haven't done that in practice today. So since my schedule has changed a little bit, I usually modify the 90-minute class from Monday into a 75-minute class and then into a 60-minute class. So today, this week, I'm going from 90 minutes to 60 minutes, so I don't have I don't have the editing down as well today, but I'll get there. It's part of the process. Okay, so if you have done like I've done, take your mat to some uninterrupted wall space. So the outer edge, the long end of your mat is lined up with the baseboard of the wall. And here's where it will be helpful to have blocks. So if you have blocks, gather them. If you don't have blocks, you can always put the hand on the shin rather than on a block. So we're going to start facing the top of the mat with the left hip towards the wall. Then let's place blocks on either side of the left foot as the left toes point to the top of the mat. Hands to the hips. We want to leave about 6 inches from the outside of the foot to the wall. Step the right heel back and turn the right toes towards the top right corner of the mat. Wrap the right outer hip forward, pull the left hip back. Imagine headlights at the front of your pelvis, and you want those headlights to shine straight towards the wall in front of you. Lengthen down through the tailbone, lift into the chest, roll the shoulders back. You might even look up. We're going to do revolve triangle. I'm not trying to surprise you or anything. Inhale here, and then exhale, hinge at your hips so that your legs stay relatively the same, but now your upper body is parallel to the floor. Lengthening back through the tailbone, reaching forward through the crown of the head, and you can place your hands on those blocks if you have them. If you don't have them, hands can come to the shins. Draw the shoulders away from the ears, lengthen through the crown of the head, ground through the left big toe ball mount, draw Janu Bandha up the left leg, kneecap draws in and up, hip crease pulls back, both legs tone, and then we're going to keep the legs as they are again, revolve the right ribs towards the wall, take the left hand up the wall. Use this relationship between the hand and the wall to revolve around the central channel of your spine, wrapping your right waistline, your right ribs, your right shoulder towards the wall. Keep the left leg active. You might eventually slide your left hand all the way up the wall. Pushing, again, using that relationship between your hand and the wall to push the hand into the wall. Draw the left shoulder away from the wall as you wrap the right side of the rib cage, right shoulder, towards the wall and look up. Left hip crease back, tailbone back, crown of the head forward. You might attempt to stay here, taking the left arm up. You might attempt to stay here, taking the right hand onto the left foot or even to the outside of the left foot. So again, make the sketch and then spray the workable fixative, start to work into the pose, making modifications and always breathing. Keep that curiosity. As you're ready, come on out, unwind, hands back to hips, elbows towards the ceiling, come on up. This happened Monday too. I was like, oh, really only have time to do this once, but it'd really be nice to do that a few times on each side, but we do have the second side. So turn to face the other way so that your right hip is now against the wall. Right toes pointing towards the other top of your mat. Left foot steps back, maybe 3.5 feet between your heels. If you're taller, if you're like 6 foot, it might be a little wider. If you're closer to 5 foot, it might be a little shorter. Right hip crease pulls back, left outer hip crease wraps forward. Shine the pelvis forward, hands to the hips, elbows point back, open the chest, lengthen the tailbone down, you might look up. Exhale, hinge at the hips, chest parallel to the floor, hands onto the blocks, and arrive in this half folded position where the chest is parallel to the floor. Consider that the spinal column is going to stay parallel with the floor. You're simply going to revolve the chest around that central channel. Ground down through the right big toe ball mound, lift into the right kneecap, pull back through the right outer hip, and either keep the left hand on the block at the inside of the foot, or you can start to move the left hand towards the wall. Revolve the left ribs towards the wall, take the right hand up the wall. Keep the legs and hips relatively as they were as you revolve your left waistline, left ribs, left shoulder towards the wall, using the tool of the wall, hand pressing into the wall to draw your right shoulder away from the wall. Attempting to stack the shoulders, eventually looking up. So notice where you are. If you want to keep some of this stuff, spray the fixative and then keep working. So you might move the left hand, you might experiment with bringing it closer to the wall. You might take the right arm and try to bring it away from the wall. Continue to breathe. As you're ready, come on out. I get the feeling I held that on the first side longer than the second side. But let's just get out of there. Okay, so great job. Pause the video if you'd like to do that again. Pause and rewind. Do it again if you're really feeling it. And then we're going to do a couple camel poses. So meet up on your knees, kneeling. Lengthen down through the tailbone. Put your hips in your back pockets. Point your toes back. If you have those two blocks, this might be another opportunity to use those blocks, framing the heels with the blocks on the outside. So lengthen down through the tailbone, roll the shoulders back, lift and open the heart space, look towards the ceiling, and then begin to take the gaze back, either keeping the support of the hands in the back pockets or bringing the hands to the blocks, thumbs turning to the outer walls, fingers wrapping to the inside of the blocks or heels. So find your expression of the pose, whether that be with hands on heels or blocks, head suspended or released back. Keep the knees grounded, tailbone lengthening, hips over the heels. Continue to breathe. As you're ready, hands to hips, chest forward, head comes up last. Bring the knees together, take your hips or your sits bones down to your heels or a blanket on your heels. Hands rest on the thighs, shoulder blades slide down the back side of the chest. Neutralize your spine. Arrive in this moment, influenced by the experience of your body, where and what you're feeling, influenced by the relationship of your body to the earth, the sounds around you, perhaps the smells around you, the sights that you see, and everything leading up to this moment. Don't miss this. Don't miss this moment. And an invitation to do it all over again. So stand up on the knees, hands in the back pocket, tailbone lengthens down, heart lifts up. Curl the chin and chest skyward, lengthen the tailbone downward. Inhale. Expand the heart space. Exhale. Curl back into the unknown. Into the unknown. Okay, so hands to blocks or heels. I'm just really attached to singing that now when I do a back bend. Try it yourself if you are so compelled. Likely you are in the privacy of your own home, and really it makes your back bends better to sing those lines. Okay, gaze back, arrive in your pose. As you're ready, hands to hips, chest up, head up last, knees together, feet together. Take a seat on the heels, neutralize the spine. Align head over heart, heart over the center of the pelvis. exploring the range of motion of the spine. So we kind of did it initially in this position, starting with the pelvic rocking, and we did it later in the cat and cows, and now this is kind of the most extreme form of that, moving from camel. Now we'll start to move into rabbit pose. So let's move gently as we're moving the spine through its wide range of motion. So we are just going to keep the hips towards the heels and then rest the torso down on or towards the thighs. Reach the arms forward, so we're doing an extended child's pose with the knees together. Breathe into the back body, feeling the extension of the lower back muscles after what might have been extensive compression or weight bearing in the low back. So we're releasing that, relieving that. Sweep the arms back and grab the outsides of the heels. Start to tilt the chin towards the chest, bringing the forehead towards or to the knees. And then slowly start to lift the hips, chin to chest, belly button towards the spine, hips high in the air. Pressure of the feet, the heels into the hands, pulling the arms taut and drawing the shoulder blades apart. Breathe here again. And slowly lower the hips. Press your way back up to a neutral spine. So back to rock pose. Chin to chest, fold forward, forehead towards or to the knees, wrap the arms back, grab the outer edges of the heels, fingers inside, thumbs outside. Kick the feet down, lift the hips up, draw the belly button in towards the spine, forehead towards or to the legs, arms pulled taut, shoulder blades apart. Breathe into your rabbit pose. Slowly lower the hips, press your way back up. Once again, neutral spine in rock pose. Head over heart, heart over the center of the pelvis. Collarbones broad, shoulder blades down the back. Reconnect with breath. Don't miss this moment. Swing your legs forward, come to lie on your back. Take your arms apart like a T, take your feet as wide as the mat. And then start to sway the legs side to side. Exhale, knees to the left. Inhale, knees through center. Exhale, let the knees fall to the right. So slowing down the lessening the intensity of the postures, or the lessening effort as we move into these shapes. More of letting the body move in the direction which gravity is working on us. I need to take some physics courses. I don't know if you say gravity working on us, if that makes sense in a scientific language. If you know, let me know. Okay, so this just feels good. You can do that a little more. You can pause on one side or the other. Eventually bring the knees back to center, and let's bend the right knee. Bring the right foot towards center, just below your pelvis, and then let the right knee fall out to the right. Take the left foot to the outside of the right thigh, foot on the floor, ankle against the top of the right thigh. So this might already be a nice outer hip stretch. It might not be a nice outer hip stretch. It might be a mean outer hip stretch. If so, come back to this shape, more of a figure 4 shape. If you're not sure what that is, I'm demonstrating it now. Otherwise, if this feels interesting, but you'd like it to be a little more interesting, you can reach down with your right hand and grab the left ankle with the right hand. This is my new Star Trek watching pose. I call this Star Trek watching pose. So just imagine your favorite Star Trek. You want to know what mine is? Currently watching Deep Space Nine for probably the second time fully through. It's very enjoyable. Okay, release the foot, bring the knees back to center, bend the left knee, let the left knee fall out to the left, like it's just setting up for a simple cross-legged seat. Right leg comes over, and the ankle is touching the top of the thigh, and the foot is grounded. So again, if you tried this on the second side, and again, you're feeling like this is a mean variation, then come back up into this shape, or come out of that and come up into a figure 4 or recline pigeon. Something to target the outer hip and low back. So I'd say this is less targeting the low back than the figure 4 pose, just from my own my observation of my body, which is the only body I have practiced yoga in, at least in this lifetime. Okay, if you have the ankle, you might release it. Come back through center. First, ease the knees into the chest and wrap the arms around the front of the shins. We're not giving ourselves that hug yet. We're going to lengthen the back body on the floor for what is sometimes known as wind removing pose. But grab the wrist forearms or elbows around the front of the shins, and then pull the thighs into the chest. Try to create more connection between your spine and the floor. So lengthen the tailbone down and towards the floor. Lengthen the neck by tilting the chin towards the chest. Squeeze in. And then take hold of the outsides of the feet. Transition to happy baby pose. Rocking side to side. And feet together. Widen the knees apart. Flatten the back again for reclined bound angle. And now it's time for that hug. Bring it in. Wrap your arms around the fronts of your legs, chin to chest, forehead towards your to the knees. Squeeze, tuck the tailbone. And then let it go. Make your way into your preferred expression of Savasana for this evening. So in lieu of a inversion today, you may take legs up the wall, as I'm demonstrating by bringing a blanket or a bolster to the base of the wall space. I'm going to use a strap too. I like to put the loop of a strap around my ankles so that I can relax my legs without worrying about my feet falling open, my legs moving apart. So I'm going to swing my legs up the wall and then scooch my hips up onto the support of the blanket or the bolster. And then I'm going to take this strap that's about a foot wide around my feet. And do you have any other items that make you feel safe, supported, or present for this practice of Savasana? So I like an eye pillow, but sometimes as the weather cools down, it can be nice to put on a pair of socks or a sweater. Again, make sure to invite yourself into this space and time. So I often instruct a class that is very focused on the proprioception, the experience that we have of our bodies in these shapes. But this past weekend I had the opportunity to practice outside, and I realized that so much of how I've practiced yoga for so long has been kind of trying to negate or lessen the distractions or the stimulus of the outside world. So I just thought it was interesting today, and in future exploration of the practice, that we might be sensitive not only to what we're experiencing internally, but can we experience the external at the same time? So recognize that those stimulus are occurring simultaneously. And can you become the observer of this experience of embodiment, being in this body, in this space, in this time? to reanimate fingers and toes. And start to reawaken the body in whatever ways you feel compelled to do. Maybe it's rocking the arms, rocking the legs, the back of the head, stretching out. Eventually, bend the knees. If you have a strap, you might remove it. Extend the left arm along your left ear and roll onto your left side. Transitioning from our corpse pose into a fetal position. Push your way back up to seated. Any seated position you would like is appropriate for this time. Bring your hands onto your heart space. Notice your breath. Notice the breath in your body as it enters and leaves your body. Notice if you can feel the breath as it moves the chest up and down, in and out. We'll close practice with the single sound of Om, and consider that this sound is vibrating the body within and then sending this vibration outward. Exhale and inhale for Om. Thank you for your patience, your presence, and your dedication to the practice. The light in me recognizes and bows to the light in each of you. Namaste. Thank you, live stream viewer. I'm now switching my schedule to have this. I'm keeping the Wednesday evening class as it is. I'll be teaching Sunday evenings at 5, and that will be more of the 90-minute, 75-minute format. And I am planning to start teaching Sunday mornings outdoor in person starting September 20th. And if you are here in Athens or surrounding area, you can register for that class at Revolution Yoga and Therapy by looking for the class schedule. So I'm not sure what we're going to do about capping the class size. I don't know if that's going to be an issue, but we would prefer if you pre-registered for class, and there'll be a $10 donation for those classes. Please come do some yoga with me in person if you are able to do so. Again, Sunday, September 20th, and that'll be at 9 a.m. Okay, so also if you ever want to make donations to my live stream classes or my podcast, you can visit my website at Brownstone Yoga, and there'll be an option to donate. And don't be fooled by those gifts. Don't buy the gifts, because that money's not going to me. And the money that I do collect will be going in part to Revolution Yoga and Therapy studio here in town, and I believe that this month we are going to give a portion of the proceeds also to the Cottage, and that's a local organization for victims of sexual assault, I believe. I should get the tagline for them to be more specific. But so that's all the information I can think of to pass along Um, yeah, so please get in touch with me via my phone number if you want to email, or if you want to call me or text me. I'd love to hear from. I'd love to hear from you. It's very helpful to get feedback as far as what you like, what you didn't like, what works, what doesn't work. Yeah, so I would like to serve you to the best of my ability from this computer screen. So yeah, stay in touch. You can also email me at the